my mum's house, my brother wasn't there. So I said, so where is he? What's going on? He's just gone out. What do you mean he's gone out? So if I use a medical term, the doctors will say he had a mental health episode. If I use the term of us, Bantu people, they will say Ability Boma. That wasn't normal. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. When he came back, of everybody that was in the house, there was a spirit of fear. Everybody was scared to talk to him. Everybody was scared to approach him. And it wasn't their fault. He was behaving very different, very erratic. But my mum went to church, and my mum wasn't there. Mum said she's going to get strength before she can come back and deal with him. So I got back before her. And with the spirit of fear that was in the house, it just didn't make sense. So when I asked him, where did you go? I was calling his friend, he wasn't going through. He took my niece and my nephew, he took them to the mosque. I said, okay, but you can't just take people's children to the mosque. You're a Muslim, we're not Muslims. But when he was talking to him, you know somebody because you can look inside. God has given us the power for you to understand that there is somebody's spirit and soul inside their body. But when I was talking to him, there was nothing there. I've never seen anything like it. I was looking at him, and I couldn't see him. I could see him physically, but I couldn't see him inside. Me and my brother grew up, we were like this. Till today, there's nothing that goes by that he won't call me and say, "Ha, sis, ha, ha, ha." And me too, I'll call him and say, "Oh, Jose, this is what's happening, ha, ha, ha." So out of everybody that had that spirit of fear, I didn't have that spirit of fear. But I remember looking at him and I saying to him, where are you? Because this isn't you. Who are you? Because you are not the person that I know. As the day progressed, my mum came home from church. And I said to my mum, this is a spiritual issue here. But because my brother's a very tall guy, like 6'3", big. So I said, because of the fact that now he's starting to become dangerous, you need to get him help. Short of you calling the pastors to come here right now in this moment to deliver him, he won't hear it. For somebody to be delivered, they have to be ready to be delivered. He's being governed by spirits. And it's ironic because my mom's sister had a dream sometime in January. And she said that God is giving her the date of number 11. And it keeps circulating. And her gut was telling her that it was a bad thing. She said, God is something. Just the number 11, I keep dreaming about that number. There's something bad that's about to happen in this family. When my mom told me about it, I said, well, if God is truly warning, then that means that he's good enough to give us a warning, so we need to pray. Unfortunately, my family is quite fragmented. I've got Muslims in my family. I come from a Kimbangist background in my family. So there's not one religion, there's not one faith. That's just what I was born into. But I know the God that I serve. So I said, this number 11, when it comes, it will come but it will pass. It will come, even if it comes to visit, because that's what Satan likes to do, it will go. So I took my niece and nephew that day, and we went back to my house, and my auntie, my mum's auntie, so my grandma, we went back to my house. 4 a.m, my sister called me, she said, oh, the situation is just getting worse, what should I do? I said, you guys can't handle him, he's too big. Call the ambulance. So the ambulance came, and they assessed him, and they said, yeah, this one is definitely a mental health episode. So they took him to Homerton Hospital. My mum went with them. When they got to the hospital, my mum said it was like, to use the term, elima. She's never seen anything like it. He had 15 security guards come and try to hold him. The strength was abnormal. He just went crazy. And the doctors in the hospital were saying, yeah, this is definitely mental health. Yeah, definitely mental health. I said, that's not mental health. That's not mental health. You have to understand the difference between a sickness and a spiritual attack. That was not mental health. goodness of God starts here. In that moment, he beat up 2 security officers. Bad. One of them, I believe, has been signed off work for 6 months because he beat them so badly. The strength, nobody could hold him. So the only way they could get him down, they had to tranquilize him. The normal human being gets tranquilized with 1 tranquilizer. You give them 1 injection and they go down. It took 4 to get him down. The strength that overcame him was abnormal. So when you see somebody go through something, when that Spirit of God is telling you that this is not normal, trust in that feeling in your gut. Because only a child of God has that feeling, not everybody else has it. So fast forward, he went down, they put him in the hospital bed, and my mum suffered an injury in her back, sorry, in her shoulder. They took her to the x-ray, they done what they had to do, and then they said to her, well, unfortunately, we're going to have to give you a cast. We'll try your blood. It's going to take a very, very, very long time to heal because of your age. My mum is nearly 60. So anything that's to do with your bones, you know, it's so much harder to heal. My mum came home. I called her at 6 a.m. Mum's not answering the phone. My grandma, they are very dramatic. She started crying. I said, I don't need your spirit of crying here. I don't need you to cry next to me. Because when you're crying, you're calling, it's almost like you're saying to God, I'm scared. You can't be scared at a time like this. I don't need you to cry. If you're going to cry, I'm going to go downstairs. You stay upstairs by yourself. Oh, no. I called my mum at 7 a.m. She didn't answer the phone. I called my sister. I said, is Mum home? She said, no.